Hey everybody, Karen the Warp Spinster here. Thank you for joining me on my channel today. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been following for a while, welcome back. I have gotten more fabric of the yellow and the green, so I am no longer constrained by that. But what I want to do today, I think will be fine with some of this leftover semi-scrappy stuff that I have here. What I'm thinking about is just an abstract kind of squared off swirl, thinking of fiddlehead fern? No, not a fiddlehead fern. Yes, a fiddlehead fern, the curly fern. And I want to see what it looks like in reality. I know what it looks like in my head, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm thinking I'm just going to start out with the center, and then I'm going to build it outside and then put the background behind it. Now I'm remembering, I have just remembered that background is an accent, not a background color. So what I may do, let me think about this, is make the background, say we start with one that's yellow, and then I build it out in white. So I'll start with one that has yellow with a white fern, or whatever we're going to call it. And then I'll try one with green, and they can be different sizes and shapes. One can be long, whatever, and they may go on a stem eventually, or they may not. You know what we do, we just cut and sew and see what happens. So let's start with a piece of yellow, and I'm envisioning this being relatively good size. I'm not doing a tiny one at this point. Let me trim that off, and then let's try for one that's a little longer, wider than it is tall, or whatever. And then I'm just going to build out from there in white. So I will grab some white. I always have plenty of that, and we'll start building it. I will be starting out with a wider strip and getting a little bit narrower as I go around. But I think I'll start with this and stitch that, press it toward the yellow, and then I will cut off a corner like that and do a little bit of straight. And cut off the corner again, come around, and then I'll add something over here so that this stem is longer, I think. I changed my mind about the construction. I think it will be easier if I curl it around and then add a piece on here and then that piece down here. We're going to try that. No, that way I don't have, if I do it this way, see, I want this to extend out so the curl will come around here, but I want this to be longer out here. If I do it this way, then I have to match this up, which isn't a huge deal. But if I do it this way, comes around here, then I can add an extension of the yellow over here and the white all the way across there. So that's what we're going to try to do. And my other option would be to add this one on and then cut off the corner, which is certainly possible. But I think I'm going to cut off the corner to begin with, and I can choose how much I want to cut off and just, go at it. And of course I want to trim this. I don't think I have the right glasses on to do this. Did go to the eye doctor. Well, that clearly I didn't have my glasses on. Did go to the eye doctor the other day, and my macular degeneration is not progressing very fast, so we're happy about that. And press this, and now put another strip here. Next time I might cut off more of the corner, but this will work for now. Actually, can I press it this way and put on the next, and then just go around. I'm seeing a miscalculation here that is fixable, but just to point it out, when I come around to do the yellow background, I'm going to be short here, so I can run it, assuming that I want to keep this wide. I could make it narrower and be all right, but assuming I still want it to be wide, and I do, then I can put some yellow across, and then just apparently what I'm going to be doing up here too. So moral of the story is to cut these wider. All right, next up, we're going to do another straight section. And let me think about this. When this goes back, yep, all right, we can do this. I'm muttering, sorry, I'll go so. All right, I have done as much here. I'm going this way, aren't I? Yes, all right. Done as much here as I want to do before I start putting on the background, more yellow. Now, because of that miscalculation, I'm just going to trim this, and I'll just follow around with yellow as I did with these white strips. And I can change the angle a little bit if I want to while I'm at it. See, the miscalculation was actually just exactly what I wanted to do. You know me and my spatial relationship problem. Okay. Make that one a little deeper. I don't know that this is going to look like a fiddlehead fern, but I didn't have to, and I think I'm liking how it's looking. So now I'm going to put some yellow, no, yes, yellow across here. No white, yes, all right, so it'll be just a yellow all the way around here. And is that what I want? No, I don't think that's going to operate the way I think it will. So I do want to add yellow with some white on it to make this longer. Back to the original plan. So I'm going to do a yellow strip with a white strip down here, which I will add onto this side, and then I'll start going around with yellow for the whole thing. In order to be able to make this seam butt up against each other, this one's pressed toward the yellow. I want this one to be pressed toward the white, but I want to minimize the bleed through of the yellow, so I have trimmed the seam to about 1/8 of an inch of just the yellow, so that that white is going to mask it, the white behind. Someone pointed out in an earlier video when I was doing this that you can just offset it before you sew, of course. I think it's more difficult with curves, but you can certainly do that if you think of it ahead of time, which I didn't. Offset it so when you sew, you actually have this piece recessed from that one a little bit. All right, so thank you for that tip and reminder. All right, this is now ready to be attached here, and then I can go around with the yellow, which I don't think will be anything new to you, so I don't know that you need to get a step-by-step of that. So this will be sewed on, and I'll just do yellow all around. I'm back. This was trimmed off from here, but I can use that in a corner here, which I think will be good. So I'll start out with a strip, throw that in the corner. I may actually do a strip here and a strip here, and then put that in there to match it up. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we aren't doing toves today, but Thea and Kathy, I believe, have named them. So the one with the pink curl thing is Fritz, and the other one is with the dots, the, yikes, use your words, Karen. Of course, that triangle wasn't nearly large enough for this corner. Have I mentioned that I have issues with spatial relationships? My brain just doesn't do it. So now I can trim it here. Those are pretty wide. I may or may not want them to be that wide, but at least I've got the option if I want it. And so now I can trim that. Put on another strip. This I know, well, all right, I'm just gonna trim it here and see what we've got before we work on the next one. And I can, of course, make it a little crooked, but let's go with straight. We'll just play it straight on today for this first one. And then I have some pieces here when I start another one. If I do another yellow background, then I'll have some pieces here that I can work with. All right. And I can cut these back later if I want to. So next up is this corner. And then we have this corner. And this is, the way it is now, this is not sitting straight. I am not at all worried about that. I'm perfectly fine, although it is looking not enough crooked to be a deliberate crooked. So I may change that, but let me get these two corners on. And then I think at the moment I'm not going to put anything over on this side because I don't know what I'm doing with this piece as a part of the whole. So it may go on something completely different, and I want that stem to go right into it. So, all right, two more corners, one more side. I'll be back. This is quite like snail's trails as I think about it. Works much the same way. All right, I like it. Looks good. There's not a huge contrast between the yellow and the white. It will look different, I think, with green or with the blue for that matter. Now, of course, we aren't going to leave it here with just this. What are we missing? Say it with me now. Circles. So I think I want pretty small circles. I'm thinking of the fiddlehead fern that has, you know, those little curls and seeds in there. But it needn't be, I mean, we could have them anywhere. This isn't really a fiddlehead fern. I really have to read the rest of the poem and see if there's anything that seems to be a reference to a plant-like thing. And we can make it look however we want because toves are imaginary, so why not? All right, what colors do we think we need? What's going in your head? Shout it out to me. We could go with green, we could go with the pink stripes or the pink. Yeah, if they're small circles, the stripes isn't going to register much. We have some plain pink. We could do some blue. I'm thinking pink. So let me do a couple of, or a few pink circles. Small ones, but then maybe a couple of large ones too. Who knows? Maybe we want a big one right in the middle. We don't know. I kind of like it with 3 small dots in the center. Always add some outside. It kind of detracts from the whole curl thing though. And I could put it in the center or not quite center. Oh, I don't mind that either. Might have to do several of these and then do different things with circles. Yeah. That's not bad either. I'm going to make a couple more. One is going to be a green background. I think I'll try a blue one that's a little teeny tiny-ish. And see how they all look together. They could go this way, of course. Gives a different effect. May end up being on a diagonal. I've got enough room here to do that to some extent. So let me whip up a couple more and we'll see where we're at. I think I want to try something a little different on this one. Here I had this just going straight out, but I'm almost thinking I might want to angle something in a different direction. So I'd have green all the way around and then cut off this corner. No, I guess I want to cut off the corner first. I don't need it to be at a huge angle, but something other than straight, I think. So I'm going to try that. When do I want to put this on? I want to put this on right now. Okay. I've got it straight in my head. Thank you for listening. If this seems disjointed, it's because I'm canceling out, I'm editing out something that I said before. I want this to be diagonal. So instead of having this straight here, I want this to be on an angle. So I need to do at least these two sides first as I go around here, and then I can finish up going around. I tried doing it with just this piece first, but then no. So I need to do some green here and here. Just this would probably be fine, but I'm going to do the green here and here and here, put this piece on, and then finish going around with the green. That's my plan. I'm hoping I'll stick to it. Here's the second one. I think I like this one even better than this one. And I don't know that they're going to be coming off, say, a stem, although it could. We could have a curved stem. They may be more blocks put together or blocks in between other types of blocks. Not sure yet. Don't know how I feel about these. What I think I really want to do are some French knots all along here. So I will do that and show a photo to you. Just do some white French knots. White? Yeah, I think I want white. And now I'm going to tackle a little one with a blue background. I really like this slant coming off. Here's the small blue one. I left these two corners square, but I think I might go back and cut off the point of that one. But otherwise, I'm liking it. Once I do the French knots, I will take a photo and put it at the end as usual. Next week, as usual, I have no idea what I'll do. Probably some more on this, but I don't know yet. I hope I will see you then. In the meantime, be well, be safe, be happy, be quilting. Peace out.